Hello there, boy. This is your boy, Blue Tricks Lord 7th. So I'm here to tell you I'm the king of the Filipino community. I'm the king of the San Jose Convention Center. This is what I'm putting on for. And this is an update video. Now, these are comments that I do, by networking with a lot of people. There's a downside to this video. First off, I have to explain why Utopia worked at 30 as far as the concept, but through and through, I don't think that I have enough points in order to say that it's fully up and functioning, because I know what cosplayers are. So, not rated R from SpongeBob. Okay, so I'm gonna spill the whole beans. Lately, what I was I grew up an anime fan. I started telling my stories on YouTube. Before that, I was a cosplay superstar, known for pulling the hottest girls from the series on the streets lately, and I impressed my family, including the Beecham family. What ended up happening was I posted a picture on Facebook with all my girlfriends. My uncle Top was like, TJ, when you gonna get one? This is very important for the video because you have to understand something. Level.screwed Lily is how I'm functioning at. What happened was I ended up running a reality show with my cosplay crew, Lily, the FTN mob. Everything I knew one. You see, I was a mainstream rapper, and kind of still am. The formula of how I got there was through a gang that rep purple. The main rappers like The Game and Busta Rhymes, are basically Crips and Bloods. I chose my own pathway. And why I state, it's very important for this channel is the #1 subscribed on YouTube that is in the anime community is for Neverworld, who is a big Mexican with a gap problem. And because he is Mexican, is why he has, it's out through the mafia. But me, I'm black with green eyes, so what ends up happening was I met a purple gang that can make fun of mainstream rappers like Rick Ross. I'm telling you their inside life, but the funny thing about it was I grew up when I was young with a flow like Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Therefore, if I use their formula, I can fool the police all the way to the point I can put myself in a position of mainstream rap. That means use a purple gang for now, lately while I get my own studio, this and that. Release that flow like Fabulous. And what happened before was I grabbed my girl, Malice, aka Nefrapito, which was the most viral. These girls commenting, my Utopia. Because this is very important, because what I'm gonna say is why, K-pop is zero crying with everything I do, because I put on, style of music that I wanted called J-hop, which is Japanese hip-hop. I did all the research ever since I was younger when I wanted to make an anime called Nons, right? No Nightmare Zoo. And the main character is based off Naruto called Goodbye Mudioto, where my name is Eris Moody in real life. I came pretty close, got to talk to, the voice actor of Vegeta himself. I know a lot of things. I know a lot of things that he keeps personal. I know, even, ins and outs about his criminal record. I know so much about him, I want him to be a character named Astro in an anime called Power School. What the Filipino girls had to do with this was, it all started literally when I was a freshman, when I did a tut. Literally, that was the best, tut out. When the dance came out around You're a Jerk. What happened was I transferred over into a Filipino community who I tried to revive. It was through this filter, not the cringe filter, literally. And, I found out a secret that the cringe filter of this, and that, while we have, paste from My Hero, Black Cloak, is because it could be epic foreshadowing for my anime. I know all the main voice actors, Vic Manyata, Natsu Dragonil, Edward Eric. So what happened was I put on the Filipino story, a love for anime, and my knowledge of, the Purple Gang. And now, the fact that you have to, contribute into this video was I did, watch all the slices of live anime at one time. It was on my brand's account, Verve, I watched every single anime that was in color, in 1 year. And that year was 2020 when my child, supposedly blew up. I ended up reenacting, the My Hero movie, Heroes Rising, with a girl named Jubei Lily, who was hot and heavy in the streets. Yeah, that's the thing. And what K-pop is doing now is making, a project or contract with Lisa, the same person who sung the Demon Slayer opening. You see this gameplay, literally. This gameplay represents what I did, back at Fanmade 2018. Where I grabbed over 300 girls at a convention, but let's get into that a little bit. What am I? I'm a huge anime nerd / knowledge of gangster in real life. Therefore, if you try to fool me in something, I can make my way around the streets and watch, an anime on my phone. What happened was the third episodes of Dragon Ball Heroes, came out. And it looked just like, the old DBZ where it came to their fast punching and kicking. I was more mature, especially back then, to a point where, I recognized that it was repetitive. The super ended after my first job. Now, one thing, that has to, continue on this video is that this game looked just like Fire Z, the game I was adapting to. I used to be a part of this rap league, literally, when I said, you're so retarded, I still call you Billy. It's serious shit. As I got older, that gang, got in trouble, nobody listened. Before My Hero, came out, nobody's battling. One thing I have to understand, is that I copied, my favorite YouTuber ever since, 2008. Chuntaragu, the guy wilding out. became the next Tindy de la Ghetto, telling the story that's all intertwined into junior high with Jaylene, back when A and B's, still came out. Then I went to a place called Alpha Omega. When you get famous, without their equipment, I saw myself wilded out, twice, within 2 years, and then ever since then I lost my career. Gave full custody to my uncle and everything that they want to forward with. If you are a fan, my child, like most fans are American, then you understand that my grandma's birthday is in 2 days. Yes, my grandma was born on Halloween. So what happened extensively, at 2020, what gave me the edge, over the family and over everything, including the continuity, was I knew who I was in my generation. People like Allie, a lot of people want to say, see it's too high of a standard. Well, I know literally the truth behind her family just like me. Why I had a girl named Abby who wore Skechers. And what Skechers mean is they're made to call out mob bosses. Like, literally, we have, a shoe that's $20, even though that's not a real shoe. A real shoe is, 40 and up. And control a situation like a mob boss, like a gangster to a point where you don't have to pay, higher prices for Jordans. That's how most, victims / single mothers, take care of their family. If I tell you to wear Skechers, you're actually rich. So what happened was, I know a lot about parenting, and that's, recognizing why standard fluctuates due to a victim of domestic violence. Let's be real with this video. Before I brought my boy James along, what happened was, literally, I walked, past, the same police that's confirmed, ran away, in order to stop arguments. For 13 times, literally, I've been in a Mexican gang war before, but the truth of it is, I recognize everything I've done, the conventions, how I met the voice actor of Christmas Sabbath, Vegeta, even competed at Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament Level Up Expo. So the thing is, and also, I'm uploading a new song today. When I was playing as Kid Boo from Fire Z, literally, I got a new TV. I thought about everything. How I won the tournament, literally how I won. I'm also champion of 8th grade, which is a big, contribution to my channel. I thought about how I was the king of 8th grade, anime, Z, all I had a token for what I got from Woodstock class, which is the Murioto staff and the Murioto shelf. Yes, it's all there ever since I've been in 8th grade. It's still there now, and it's still there ever since I've been back from Alpha Omega. That wood is so old, I'm surprised it didn't tore apart already. Yeah, well, just think about the wood that's in the house. But seriously, I knew I hacked. Literally, I had, a girl named Vanessa when we had the X-Men wearing Xavier. I got, away with performing Zoro, at the stadium. Cartoon Zero, and it's really, really clean. What happened was my knowledge continued, and certain things happened to the government, like I was drinking the radio, and what I knew, knowledge of, society created a conflict, then I resolved it. I got confused about Martin Luther King or Hitler or anything. It's true, it's very true, literally, and the truth of it is that, my channel is, still functioning on the same basis as it's been. So I create, a real revelation. One thing you gotta, forget or remember is my name, just kidding. The real reason why I, became the real Timothy De La Ghetto was because I had game, I was determined. Society's debate is I was determined after I had game. Your character, you learn to love yourself after your character got expressed. How the story goes is I thought I could put, everybody in my manga, everybody, in my comic book. I had a girlfriend named Daniela Lily, and we got into, Sean Sherman, the voice actor of Goku. He did want the original formula to fluctuate with a prostitute that I know called Skittles. How the original formula works is Zofio, Kuwabenga, Ibaya, Beta Hero, and then forth. And so when Daniela came along, I wanted to name her damn vanilla. That's all for this video.